Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elgin Theatre Company's production of Shirley Raleigh, Piece of My Heart. For the enjoyment of all our patrons, at this time, we ask you to please silence your cell phones and all electronic devices at any time. During this performance, strobe-like effects will be used. Also at this time, we would like to ask all veterans and current members of the armed forces to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. And now, Piece of My Heart.
Make a bomb, get your nails done, pull your head, run the extra mile. Slim so they like you, Get your beauty on, don't be shy, girl, take it off. This is what you want. Belong so they like you, You know I have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all away. Just have to get up. You don't have to change a single thing. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. You don't have to try.
We are gathered here today to honor the brave men and women who served so well and gave so much.
I was an Army brat. Martha O'Neill. Dad a career man, Mom a Navy nurse. World War II. I was born at Fort Benning, grew up at Fort Bragg. I remember one day in junior high, a girlfriend came in crying. Her dad was going to Vietnam. Crying, and they sent her home. Must have been around, I don't know, 1961. So I knew early on about Vietnam, Americans there, Americans being killed there. Something very wrong there. The back of my mind was, I want to go there, be a Navy nurse, and serve my country and protect our men.
I was a lead singer and rhythm guitarist in the Sugar Candy's all-girl band. Mary Jo Kincaid from Beaumont, Texas. We come to LA to get discovered. We did country and rock. We were about 17 years old at the time, and well, we thought we were the living end. We hadn't got too far yet. But one day, in '67, an agent told us he could book us. Mini skirts and little white go-go boobs, and go and entertain the 500,000 boys of Vietnam. Well, I was out of my mind. 500,000 American boys grooving on my music and loving me, because I'd be lifting the worries of war right off their shoulders. My love for them, $1,000 a month apiece, and airfare, and all expenses paid, he said. Oh boy, book me off!
I wanted out of Erie, Pennsylvania. I was turning 17, and I was not going to rot in Erie, Pennsylvania until I was 40 years old. I didn't know anything about Vietnam. That was the point. The point was I wasn't into a college scene. I wasn't into demonstrating. I wasn't into anything, really. You know, religious family. But in dolls till I was 13 years old. Well, still a very sheltered time for girls. My high school counselor told me, well, sissy, what is it you want to be? A nurse, a teacher, or a secretary? Oh, well, sir, a nurse, I guess? I'll help mankind. Well, my first year of nursing school, my problems were I had no self-control and I couldn't stand to see people in pain. But my instructors told me, look, you don't have a choice. You just get in there and you do as you're told. So there's this old man that's brought in and he's in a coma. And I have to give him a shot of penicillin in his rear end. And I'm really a wreck. Because how could I cause this sick old man more pain? But I do it. And the guy immediately wakes up and goes, God, where am I? And I think, gosh, I did a miracle. I can do anything. I'll join the army. I'll save the world.
I was graduating from Vassar in primary education. Provisional Junior League. Sleeves right down to my elbows, prim, high, proper collars. Already been offered a boarding school position for the fall term when I saw a Red Cross form on the placement board. I went in for an interview and they said, Red Cross has 2 groups going overseas early summer, Korea and Vietnam. Well, Saigon is a sophisticated cosmopolitan city, they say. Diversity of people to meet all walks of life, and they speak French. Well, I took my junior year in Paris, you see. Besides, it snows in Korea, doesn't it? Whereas Vietnam has this wonderfully warm climate, I'm told. I went home for the weekend to tell my parents. But Dad, Mother, Vietnam will be my year in service. Besides, if I'm ever going to do anything in my life besides be an old maid boarding school teacher, I'd better do it now. It grew very quiet in the breakfast room. Sunday morning, Mother's coffee cup rattling in its Dresden saucer. Look, Whitney, if you insist on running off like this to the ends of the earth, do be aware you're making a decision of some consequence. There will be repercussions on your life. Not necessarily for the better, so please, dear, please do think it carefully through. But Mother, don't you see, I already have.
I was anti-war, hated Nixon, knew he was a liar and evil. So did my friends. We were hippies. Woodstock, bell-bottom jeans, headbands, the long hair, the pot. Then I remember Kennedy going, what can you do for your country? When I was 21, when an army recruiter comes to my nursing school, dressed in a uniform, she's showing us this wonderful film about the glamorous life of being an army nurse, with all these gorgeous hospitals all over the world and all their modern equipment. We didn't have zip in my nursing school, and I was very impressed. So after the film, I asked, do nurses have to go to Vietnam? No, she goes. Women volunteer to go to Vietnam. My friends are thinking I'm mostly crazy, but there are 2 others willing to sign up at any minute, and I'm thinking, this is perfect for you, Leanne. It'll pay for this last year in nursing school, because money for me was very tight. Plus, I can express how I feel about the war by taking care of the non-soldiers when they get back from war, like in Hawaii or something. I was born and raised in New York. I'm half Italian and half Chinese, and I went through a lot of discrimination in New York. I wanted to go to Hawaii. Everybody looked like me.
Well now, black for about 18 years when I decided to go on over to the North. First joined up in Jackson, Mississippi, where I was born and raised. They asked me, Steele, what MOS would you like to be? Well, I'm a college graduate and I've been teaching music, so I'd like to join the Army Band. So, they gave me the 4th trombone part to audition with. If you know anything about music, you know that is a hard part. The doobity-doo. So I'm playing along with the band, except Commander-in-Chief Warrant Officer Helen B. Whitehead, you gonna believe that name? Has made some secret prearranged signal with the band to stop playing at a certain point. So all you're hearing is me going doopity-doopity-doop-doop-doo. Afterwards, she pulls me aside and goes, oh, I'm sorry about this, Steele, but we can't have any Negroes in the band because you just don't blend on in. 1950. My first touch with the American Armed Services. And how they want you. But they don't really want you. Anyhow, by 1967, I edited an Army newspaper, run an education center, was a French and Spanish linguist, a prisoner of war interrogator, and was in strategic intelligence. And I knew I was hearing lies about Vietnam. I'll just go on over there myself, I thought. And maybe my intelligence and experience will be used for once to help save some American lives.
August 1966. I take my oath, graduate from Women's Officer School, go to Quonset Point, Rhode Island for 2 years. Head nurse on the dependents unit. Then I tell my folks I'm volunteering for Vietnam. And they are proud, but not my chief nurse.
You're very young, Martha. They're looking for people there with experience.
But I've got experience. I'm head nurse.
Direct war experience.
But I've done everything, and I'm really good. And my folks are military. I've been around it all my life.
I have serious reservations about endorsing this request.
Please.
Well, I'm doing it with a great deal of hesitation.
A Navy nurse in a war zone. Just like my mother. Glamorous. My deepest childhood dream come true.
My mother went right down to the recruiting office.
Will my daughter have to go to Vietnam if she joins?
Army nurses volunteer for Vietnam. And besides, madam, we have so many women wanting to go, we would never even consider a policy like that.
Good, Sissy, because what I really want you to do, if you're actually going to join, is put in for Germany and meet a doctor and get yourself married and settle down.
My girlfriend and I go for our physicals together. When she came, I'm so nervous. I don't think I can go in the bottle. Go for me too? Oh.
Okay, but I hope we don't get a kidney infection.
She didn't.
And we passed! Ah! We did it! We passed! We're gonna do one check! Yes! And we ran right out, we got a map of Texas and run in a car!
I just flew down the highway, headed south! Fort Sam Houston, here we come!
Started at night, heart began right, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky, wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas.
I'm moving out for the first weekend I'm there.
I'm going to Mexico and buying Harachis the first weekend I'm going.
Special every weekend we're there.
Faith in blue, it's like perfume, boom, 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 deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, boom, 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 deep in the heart of Texas.
I report to the Red Cross, Washington, D.C. for 2 weeks of training.
Ladies, we tell military rank by the stripe on the shirt sleeve. 1 stripe, 2 stripe, 3 stripes. Is that clear?
Oh, very clear. Ladies, we tell the difference between the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines by color. Gray, green, blue, black. And style. Button up, button down, cut straight, cut away. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Ladies, there are
rules of etiquette. A time to drink, a time not to drink, a way to drink, a brand to drink, a drink to drink. Is that clear?
Very clear. Ladies, there are proper ways to respond to off-color remarks. There are ways to respond to everything. There are ways to be a young lady worthy of the American Red Cross. Is that clear? Oh, very clear.
At all times, be feminine.
Never swear.
Never be provocative with men.
Because you are a Red Cross girl.
Symbol of purity.
Goodness and light.
Sister, mother, girl next door.
The all-American girl to every serviceman you meet.
No sexual involvement of any kind.
Forbidden. Against all rules.
Now, is that clear?
Yes, it is very clear.
Oh, we're going to a hooky low. A hooky, 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 hooky low. Everybody loves a hooky low. And the low low is the cow with the luau. We throw our nets into the sea. And all the mama come swimming with me. Oh, we're going to a hooky low. Hooky, 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 hooky low.
Now then, nurses,
Attention!
this morning we are going to march. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Well, welcome to the U.S. Army, Miss New York. March!
March. I'm a nurse.
You are an Army nurse, and you are going to march.
These little gals, they go on, they go knick-knack on my phone with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. These little gals go rolling home.
Captain, how come you don't teach us to shoot a gun?
We do not teach you to shoot weapons or carry weapons because women do not go into combat. March, Miss New York, march!
Say, Captain, how come we're always pretending to march through a jungle full of punji sticks?
Because you will probably end up in the jungle, Miss New York, in Vietnam. March!
Vietnam? Oh, no, ma'am. My recruiter said Hawaii.
Hawaii, Miss New York.
Honolulu, Waikiki.
You must have been slightly misinformed.
With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. These little gals go rolling home.
Now, there was one thing old Officer B.J. Steele did before she went to Vietnam. Learn to shoot. Steele was going to carry her weapon and know how to fire it over there. Make no mistake about that. I learned to strip an M16. I learned to handle it, fire it, then I learned to shoot a 45. Got so good I could cock that thing behind my back. Then I thought, well, I'm just about ready to go on over to Vietnam and see what I can see.
Attention! You all have orders for Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia?
Dismissed.
They wouldn't even say Vietnam.
I'm going to my head nurse.
Don't worry, Leanne. The hospitals are safe miles from the combat zone.
But I'm anti-war.
So are a lot of the injured boys.
Well, I'll take care of them in Hawaii.
They're overstaffed there, and you're special. Top of the line. You can make a real contribution for your country in Vietnam, and the credits will do wonders for your career after the war.
Yeah? Yeah.
The sugar candy's last day, San Francisco. We go over to a restaurant on the Fisherman's Wharf, and the next table goes for him to Vietnam to entertain the crews. They buy us drinks and whipped cream desserts, and propose a toast. To Mary Jo Kincaid, the star and the sweetest, prettiest sugar candy all-girl band in the United States.
We buy little black panties and lace bras, and a nurse who'd been to Nam said, whatever you do, bring sexy underwear. Here and boots and fatigues and that dirt and that heat, and you forget what sex you are.
I get to Travis Air Force Base early, and I look around. Hey, Leanne. They're from Fort Sam. Women I know. I'm not special. Everybody's here.
And they put us on the plane in little powder blue Red Cross uniforms with Dixie cup hats, heels, stockings, and girdles.
So for the first time as we board, they actually announced where it is they're taking us.
Destination Benoit. And off we go.
Into
200 men, and everyone's trying to be sweet.
Singing, drinking, playing pinochle, checkers.
And there's this guy on my plane on his way back from R&R.
Well, Donut Dolly, you're never going to make it over there. There are Viet Cong in the landing strip.
What?
The minute the plane lands, you'll be shot at.
That's insane.
Too bad you don't make it in country one day.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you know.
I try to get my stewardess to give me a pillow. She pretends she doesn't hear me. She brings pillows to the men.
God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds the best for those who do. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
My stewardess brings me the same chicken dinner going 5 times around the world.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you know. Whoa.
I'm reading newspapers. The location of American troops from division headquarters down to the platoons. I can do the entire order of battle from my seat on this plane. Now, if I know up here, then the enemy surely knows down there. And what if we are captured coming down? I don't know anything about anything. All I am is this expert on the M16. I know how it jams, why it jams, if it jams, and when it jams. See, now you know for yourself what a horrible, old weapon it is. It's so bad they have to send me over here to give advice on keeping that thing in working order. That's how bad that weapon is.
Then suddenly, on my plane, it all just quiets down.
Nobody talks.
Nobody says a word.
Everybody's noses are to the window.
Vietnam!
Coming in over the coast.
Early morning!
Rice paddies, a village way down there.
Green, my God, so green.
How can there be a war way down there? Look how beautiful it is.
Look there, look there.
What?
Quick, turn off.
Oh!
Fire on.
Fire on it! I haven't done anything to them!
I'm a nurse. Take fast deep dive.
The fire department, the landing strip!
The treads off the wheels!
Landing without treads. Oh, come here. We'll have to run for cover.
Normal girl about to do something not normal at all.
Like a John Wayne movie. Woo!
We come down hard!
Night. Blackout. Nothing. Can't see the runway.
But I'm here. 227 full breathing on this plane.
The door's open.
Spotlights! Flashing!
I'm so nervous. God lifts me off the plane. My feet, they don't touch the ground.
Whenever such heat, such stench hits me, I don't want to go out there. But it pulls me.
Everyone's shouting orders at everybody else. Vietnamese everywhere, screaming, shrieking.
No, don't you know that's how our language sounds?
I walk around the airport in Saigon. Red Cross was supposed to meet me here. I'll find a soul. It's raining. Getting into monsoon season, raining hard. A limousine comes, takes VIPs from my plane. A school bus, wire on the windows, takes officers. Then a big open cattle truck pulls up in the rain. Young men I flew with herded in.
The guy I flew with, drink champagne with. God, I don't know if I'll ever see him again, or
Hey! So long, Martha.
so long.
I get to some temporary billet, and I'm dirty and wrinkled, so I take a shower. Start washing, look at my washcloth, and oh my God! It's brown! I'm turning white! Oh Lord, it's just the dirt of Vietnam.
Attention, all new nurses report to North Area at once to volunteer for where you want to serve. Jennifer.
send me where I'm needed most.
I can't do that. Volunteer, please.
I can't volunteer. I don't know where I am.
The other nurses managed to figure it out. Please volunteer.
Hey, a GI on a plane gave me a list. Wong Tao?
Wong Tao?
Right on the beach, I hear.
Oh, that's Phil. Volunteer again.
Fan Ring.
Ben Ring?
Phil, volunteer again.
Cameron Bay?
Cameron Bay.
Sorry, volunteer again.
It's the bottom of my list.
Two of you want to stay together, I suppose?
Sure. If we could.
How about Gucci?
Gucci.
I can keep you together for a while if you volunteer for Gucci.
Oh, all right, fine.
We volunteer for Gucci.
C-130's loading. There. Get on! Fast!
We pile in, it's all men. Hey, who are you?
The spray boys.
What's that mean?
We spray the area with heavy chemical spray to kill the weeds. So Charlie can't hide in the jungle.
I live out of my suitcase, on the road, 3 shows a day up in a C-130 to the Maine, down to Marble Mountain and Chopper, and back to the Maine High. I'm at the airport hours or days, where the officers' quarters, they give up for us, or a trailer park that closed. My first show was at the USO up north, and we are wall-to-wall Marines. They're so cute! They're so adorable! Big eyes, shaven head, green cheeks. I'm just falling in love with every single one of them at first sight.
We helped the USO girls serve 800 hot dogs and shakes the night of the first show.
And we come right on stage with our signature song.
And now, for your listening pleasure, Sugar Candy's all-girl band featuring Mary Jo. Let's hear it for the Sugar Candy's all-girl band.
Keep on turning, well, man, keep on burning. Rolling, rolling, need a lot of pain in this. Yeah, I want a lot of pain coming New Orleans, and I never saw the good life of the city till I was a ride on the riverboat queen. Keep on turning, well, man, keep on burning.
Lovely villa. Except it's right next to Prostitute Row. Several Red Cross women to share with, a housekeeper, Viet, whom I love. Oh, I like all Vietnamese. Except the Vietnamese army guards outside our villa at night. Our Red Guards, they call them, protecting us, they say. And I don't know, the way they look at me. Something seems fishy to me.
Is a series of Quonset huts. I'm assigned to the night shift.
Captain, as you can see, the Quonset huts are divided up into orthopedics, surgery, medicine, intensive care. Then we have our pre-op, x-ray, post-op, recovery, and the offices. Now the huts are lined up one after the other, and between them, please
notice we have bunkers?
Bunkers. In case of a rocket attack, then we're on what we call red alert.
Red alert?
Oh, red alert means you're in immediate danger. If you're off duty, you crawl immediately into a bunker. If you're on duty, you put on flak jackets, helmets, and put the mattresses over all your patients, then take cover yourself while someone guards the door.
I see.
We're on red alert most of the time.
I see.
Down here on the wards, since you'll have so many corpsmen to assist you, you'll be in charge of 300 to 350 patients in all. And as supervisor, you'll be expected to care for the sickest patients yourself.
350 patients?
Night duty is the hardest, of course. People die at night. And wounded people, Captain, get very frightened at night. They moan. They cry out. Here, this way, please.
She was right. My chief nurse, stateside, they don't have the experience for this.
Well, your job will include all the routine things, of course. Reading the charts, checking the dressings, the IVs, the casts.
Respirators, infusing fluids, suction, tubes, drains. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I can't find the patient
Don't
here.
think about it in that way, Captain. What you must do is focus on the facts and write the data down.
But I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Captain, please. Just focus on the facts. Keep checking the charts, the dressings, the IVs, the casts. Shut out all the rest. Think only of what you're checking. Build a psychological wall. Now come on, Captain. We'll go to the next one.
Please, God, don't let there be so many horrible things wrong on the next ward.
Here's where we keep our more seriously injured men, the intensive care patients. Come along.
I can't take anymore.
Stop it, Captain! Behind that wall, or you will never function or be of use.
But there are so many injuries and the kinds of injuries.
The medical corps motto is conservative fighting strength. Your work is to patch up the soldier so he can get back to the battlefield.
Yes, ma'am.
Now keep walking! Briskly! Ward to ward to ward! Walk!
Yes, I'll just have to walk along.
Walk and don't think. Write and don't think. Don't think. Don't think! Don't let those thoughts come through that wall! You stay behind your wall!
I volunteered.
With the knick-knacks everywhere,
I asked for it.
your double call,
I've got to come through somehow.
pistols, gallows, rolling home.
My first day at the hospital, they have a mass casualty.
I was an emergency.
Post-op.
Pre-op.
Surgery, a circulating nurse.
This is receiving. There is a mass casualty coming in. All doctors, nurses, corpsmen, please report at once to emergency. I repeat, there is a mass casualty coming in. All doctors, nurses, corpsmen, please report at once to emergency. I repeat, there is a mass casualty. I repeat.
I don't know how to describe
I was
it.
just thrown into it.
Thrown!
All new nurses, please report to the first left for orientation, please. All new nurses, please.
They tried to show us where the equipment was.
Bandages?
Sterilizers.
Catheters.
IVs. Medications.
There's so much to remember.
It's getting terribly confusing in here.
Helicopters coming in. Attention, emergency. Helicopters coming in.
Coming! They're coming!
Closer! Closer! Landing!
Wind, dust, flying in my face.
Corpsmen running to the chopper, getting into bed.
Running back with stretchers.
Putting them on metal beds.
Across sawhorses.
On the floor.
Holy shit!
He's got no legs!
God!
Thanks,
Oh,
Al.
so much blood!
Blood.
Great fatigue soaked.
Funky.
Brown, cloth-soaked bandages.
Doctors and nurses, take your post, please. Mass casualty
not alone. I'm right here.
Where?
Here, Jimmy, here.
Cut off his clothes. Take off his boots.
So I do.
And his foot is in his boots!
Draw 4 tubes of blood. Tight cross it and get it over to the lab. Move!
No! Don't go! Stay!
I have to go. It's right across the hall. I'm ordered to go.
No!
He's dead!
Cover it. Move on.
He knew
Move
he was
on!
going. He knew he was going. He knew.
I should have stayed. Oh God, I should have held his hand.
Next patient. Move on.
My first patient, my first day.
Jimmy!
I should have stayed.
I'm holding his boot with his foot in it.
God.
I'm gonna pass out. I fall across him, trying to deep breathe, trying to stay with the program, trying.
Take that part in the boot, those other parts in the plastic bag, haul it all out of here. Throw it in the drum, throw gas on it, and burn it up.
All new nurses, your shift is over. You're relieved.
Go to your hooches now.
Relax. Have fun. Well, I started drinking over in Vietnam. A lot. Spent most of my spare time, in fact, hitting the old booze bottle. And playing guitar. Just to make it all go away for a while. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer.
Well, you couldn't drink while you were on duty, so you just kept smoking cigarettes and drinking Cokes, 18, 20, 25 bottles of Cokes, every break you got. But on your days off,
One of those bottles should have in the fall.
I am here to tell you, we consumed an enormous amount of booze in Vietnam.
28 bottles of beer on the wall.
Well, Norman usually had pot, so we all did a little pot. Well, I only did it with other people.
No, just tell it to the Marines.
Well, one other person at least.
You!
All right, one of the things I did with people or without was get stoned on a lot of pots.
Off the magic dragon, live by the sea, and following in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
We used to go to these marvelous Basque restaurants, drink champagne, French champagne, till the wee hours of the night. Whole gang of us, Red Cross gals, military guys, officers.
Viva la, viva la, viva l'amor.
Viva la, viva la, viva l'amor.
Viva la, viva la, viva l'amor.
Remember this one time, we were all pretty mellow, and a Marine comes up and gives me a bunch of things on a string, and I say, oh gosh, apricots for me. Here I am, in a war zone, and you got me apricots. And he goes, those are gook ears, ma'am.
I had me this nice gentleman colonel friend, and every day he'd bring me a quart of Crown Royal and drink with me for a while.
I had a date with an officer, wonderful guy. We sat at a storm together once, sipping wine, typhoon down by the shore, and we just made ourselves a pizza in this electric skillet, feet up on the patio, watching the rain and wind from down below. Lord, we made some good love that night.
I met a guy in one of the wards. Hank? Later, he sees me going into the rooms and he's with a bunch of guys in jeans, t-shirts, and booty hats. Hey! You look like you just got off a plane from Woodstock. Who are you anyhow?
Dog Scout unit, other side of the compound. You gotta come over and see it, Leanne. Black lights, posters, just like home.
Yeah?
When do you get off?
Now!
Come on! I'll walk you over, I'll walk you back, you'll be safe. I'll take good care of you, okay?
So we walk out of the other side of the compound together, and come to find out,
We both like Led Zeppelin! Oh, well, all right, wow.
hey, and we're both from the East.
New Jersey! Oh, God.
Wow, I'm getting very comfortable with this head. So we go into the hooch, and Led Zeppelin's loud, and there are all these incredible Dayglow posters all over the walls and the ceilings, and oh God, psychedelic lights! And nobody's talking war. Nobody's talking medicine. They're all talking.
Food. Real good food.
Music, real good music.
And home, way down home.
Somewhere I can go fishing, man.
Massachusetts has lakes. You can go fishing, swimming, eat.
Super restaurants.
I'll have the cowboy cut ribeye. Rare. French fries, crisp on the side. Half order of barbecue chicken with ribs, pork burrito, bean and cheese enchilada, and a dad's root beer, 12-ounce size, and a double fudge walnut sundae with peach ice cream.
Girl, you're gonna be sick for days.
You know my first choice in cars? Benz. Second, Porsche. Third, Red Thunderbird.
You think you're gonna be in the league for a Benz?
Goddamn right I am.
Stupid, wonderful thought.
Got it, party
Come
time!
on, Lexington!
God, TJ, I sure know how to party. You infantryman.
Do you know what I love? I just stand down, the off-limits parties, You sneak us in trucks that take supplies to your units, and you hide us in blankets, and just sneak us into your cage. Right into your unit.
Wow! I like your formal parties most. You offer to fly us to your officers club, and we get all dressed up, and away we fly with you, way up over the compound, with guns on both sides.